Good morning everyone, it's Alistair here with another daily challenge for you. So welcome to what we've got for you today. It's a little bit different to things that we've done before because you're going to need a pen or pencil and paper to just go along with what we're doing today. So if you want to just go grab a piece of paper now, for anybody that is watching this morning or this afternoon or whatever time of day it is with you, and something to write with, go. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, well done. Right, so as we go along, you might want to just start jotting things down and practicing things. What we're going to do today is we are going to create a mindfulness colouring page. Now, you may have done colouring pages before, you may have done mindfulness colouring before. Both things are kind of quite relaxing, can be absorbing and nice ways to just sort of chill out, which is a cool thing to be able to do when you have time. But what you might not have done before, and what we're doing today, because we do like a challenge, is create a mindfulness colouring page. So today you are the artist who is going to create the page for somebody else to colour in. Now that person might end up being you, it doesn't matter, or it might be somebody in your family, or it might be somebody else completely different, but that is the challenge for today. Right, okay, so we are going to focus on Easter eggs today, but it's just worth pointing out that you could do this with absolutely anything, and you'll see, and I'll make sort of more references to that as we go along. Right, so what we're going to do now is something a little bit funky. I'm going to shrink myself down into the corner of the screen so that I can stay with you, and then I'm also going to do that so that I can start to show you my screen. Now, what we've got here is the Twinkle website. I've already searched for Easter egg template and Easter egg mindfulness colouring just to make things a little bit quicker, but you can do that in your own time. So what I want you guys to do on your piece of paper, do you like my super big cursor, which is to show you things with better? On your piece of paper, can you just draw a really big, massive oval? Doesn't matter if it's wobbly or whatever, because this is just something that we're going to use as we go along, just to kind of warm up for what you're going to do when you've got a bit more time when the video's finished. So a big wobbly oval on your piece of paper. Okay, and now we're going to go back to this resource here, which is the Easter egg mindfulness. As I say, you can do this with absolutely anything. All you need is a kind of outline which you can print. There's all sorts of colouring things on Twinkle, so it might be that what you prefer to do is, you know, dumper truck mindfulness colouring, or football mindfulness colouring, or unicorn mindfulness colouring. You can do whatever you want, but we'll focus on these Easter eggs, which I've downloaded, and we've got them here. So we'll scroll back through them up to the top, and what we're going to do is we're just going to have a close look at some of the ways that the mindfulness patterns are created. So grabbing your oval and your pen or pencil, just join me in just making at the top of it a few of those lines across. First thing that we need to point out and that you need to remember is your lines must have a little bit of a gap between them, because somebody is going to be choosing a colour and colouring in between those lines. So just a few practice lines across, and then somewhere else we'll just try a nice bold zigzag going across, and remembering again that you need to create little areas to colour. So if you go ahead and do another one underneath that. Okay, these hearts are cool, but we'll come back to those later. This is a really good thing to practice. So somewhere else on your egg, perhaps going from side to side again, draw yourself a nice wavy wobbly line. Sorry if I'm going too quick for you with any of this. Do stop the video or just do it quickly. It doesn't really matter because it's just a warm up. And then under that wavy line, can you match it to create a kind of colouring section there? Okay. This is something you could do, sort of make it into a big bow, like gift Easter egg type thing. It will kind of, give your colouring thing a bit of a centre point if you want to go and do that, but we're not going to practice that now. This is another idea for filling your egg, kind of shapes. So here we've got a star, but you could do a square just as easily. So if you want to pick a shape, could be a star, a square, or even a heart, which we came across before, and draw one somewhere on your practice egg. And then I think the thing that can work really well with these is if you then go ahead and draw the shape again inside the one that you've just drawn. So then you've got a nice detailed kind of outer layer that people will need to colour. And then you can put some pattern on the inside of that one that you've just drawn inside. So it could be more and more of the shape, could be lines going across, it could be sort of these zigzaggy lines as well. Okay, and then of course you can do that like lots and lots of times to make something that looks really incredible like this. A good idea is to have this resource open on your screen or print it out when you're creating your own, so that you've got lots and lots of ideas you can just dip in and out of. If you get to the point where you've kind of run out a little bit of your own ideas. This is fantastic. So I know should have things kind of going across your egg, so we don't really need to practice this one. We can just have a look at the way these lines go from top to bottom, and also the way that this is it's kind of symmetrical, isn't it? If you look at it, you've got this line is cut into little segments, and then there's another one over here that matches it. Then we've got the wavy line, which is also here. These diamond shapes are rather nice in a line, so those are kind of symmetrical all the way to the middle when we've got this sort of fantastic zigzaggy pattern section. So that's another thing that you could do, kind of split your egg up into sections and then kind of add in the extra little layers of detail within them. And we'll just have one quick look at this just to finish off our whistle-stop tour of examples. So this is one that we can maybe have a go at on your practice egg. So somewhere where you've got some space, perhaps towards the bottom, just draw a little central shape, something like that. And then this kind of reminds me almost of a flower, because you've got big sort of ovally shapes, a bit like petals coming off it. So if you want to draw some of those around from the one that you've got on your egg, and then can you see you kind of got an extra layer behind it? So if you go behind those petals and draw an extra layer, and then what you do if you had more time is you just find a different pattern for each one. Again, always allowing for people to colour in between your lines, so the lines should never really touch within a pattern. You've got this kind of shape fanning out. You've got this one here, it's a little bit like fish scales. You've got the wavy lines again. You've got the big sort of circles, and these are kind of a bit like dots, but they're not dots, they're just smaller circles, because someone could still colour that in. That reminds me a little bit of a cactus, that one. So some really good ideas there. What's great, as always, is that you will have brilliant ideas, and it'll be something that you'll get into it and you'll think of more things as you're going through. And I just got a feeling that you will do a brilliant job of this. And then of course when you're done, you've got something that somebody else can colour in and enjoy. You could even take up the challenge of trying to create your own colouring book with a title page and perhaps a whole series of mindfulness colouring pages which you could give to somebody else. Or when you've finished your mindfulness colouring page, you might think, well, I'll just set that aside and I'll come back to it myself, and I'll be the person that colours this in a little bit later on or the next day. So however you choose to use this challenge, I hope it's one that you enjoy. Thanks for joining me today, and see you soon for another challenge. Bye bye.